So now let's talk about another important concept, an important part of creating a class. This is the initialization of that class. We are setting up some initial data, and what we call that is a constructor. In Java, we use a constructor to set up our class or to construct our object from our class. Now we saw here that when we call it new printer here, we use it what was called a default constructor. We didn't implement a constructor. We didn't create a special kind of method here in order to do the construction. By default, Java will automatically give this to you, and it will just create an instance of your class, an object from your class, and it won't do anything in addition to that. But we can create a special kind of method called a constructor. And the way that we do this is we do public, and then we say the name of our class. So printer. And then this method can take some parameters. So let's create two parameters, one for on and then one for the mother number. And we will create this as isOn in the mother number as mother number. And what you will notice here is this is our scoping problem is going to come into play here, and we are going to have to use another special keyword in order to refer to the class level variable instead of this method level variable in order to do an assignment here. And what we are going to do here is we are going to take in some values, and those values that we take in, we are going to use them to set up our class. So we are going to take an isOn value, and then we are going to use this operator, which allows us, even though this name is the same, to specify that we are talking about the class level variable. So we can set this isOn equal to isOn, and we can set this dot mother number equal to a mother number. Now we could have also just initialized this to a default value. We could have not specified this isOn and just said that if you don't specify it, we are going to make isOn be equal to false. But in this case, let's see how we can use this constructor to automatically create a printer that has the values that we want set on it. And we will leave these other methods in place so that we can examine what the value is going to be. In fact, let's modify our print method so that it will also tell us if the printer, what state it is, if it's on or not. So let's go back into our hello world, and now you can see that we don't have a default constructor anymore because we have created an actual constructor. And so now we have to use the constructor we created. So we have to actually pass in some parameters into our constructor. So I am actually going to get rid of all this code, and we are going to start over here, and we are going to just create a new printer. So let's create a printer called my printer, and we will do new printer. And I'm hitting Control and space to see this list of what the parameters are, and you can see the first one is a boolean whether or not it's on. Let's say true, and then for the mother number, let's make it my printer. Now you can see that we have done here is we have initialized this printer object, and we can prove this by calling myPrinter.print. And now you will see that it is true and the mother number is my printer. So let's run this. And you can see isOn is set to true and my printer is a mother number. We can create another printer and it could have different values. So for your printer, we will set this equal to false, and we will call the mother number your printer. And let's print this one out, and let's see what happens. And as you can see, it has printed out the values of the second printer. So constructor is basically something that you are going to use to initialize your class or initialize the object that you create from your class.